Choose life. Choose career. Choose Untitled G. Never taught again. Welcome back, guys. And there was an update due on the 30th of June that was going to affect the C58, the FARA 83, and the Nail Gun, as well as some barrel attachments. However, they made a massive mistake and those updates didn't go through, so they re-released this update on the 2nd of July, 2 days ago, into the wild, as they say on their Twitter account. And the Danks has now been affected by these updates. So what does that mean for us all? Has the meta changed? What have they actually done? So let's go and check it out, shall we? Okay. Assault rifles. C58, FARA 83. Recoil increased slightly. Both of these guns were so easy to use. Any noob could pick them up. Get them ranked up to maximum level. Get some goddamn good attachments on them. And pretty much beam. So they've changed it. Made the skill curve a little bit more. Made it a little bit harder for people to use. Or have they? That's what we're going to find out. XM4, the recoil pattern smoothed out. Before they had an S-curve kind of recoil. Probably tied it up. Made it a bit more closer together. Nice, because that gun was a bit of a beast to control. Submachine guns, the Nail Gun. The maximum damage range decreased by 39%. That's a good thing for us. This gun in close to medium range was a beast. It was a killer. It was a right pain in the goddamn ass. So now this gun is just going to compete with the shotguns in those terms of those close range effective guns. So next up we have the attachments. So pretty much across the board, this is only affecting assault rifles for the Ranger and Takedown, and then the assault rifles and light machine guns for the other barrels that's mentioned here. Doesn't affect the SMGs at all. So the SMG setup stays exactly the way you had them before. So if you don't have to worry about those. For assault rifles and MG, we have got to change. So it's all basic around the vertical recoil and the horizontal recoil control has decreased by pretty much 5% or 2.5% across all of these barrels. So with all of that in mind, and that was it. That was all the changes. So what does that mean for us? Well, let's go and check it out, shall we? So, my 5 top loadouts have slightly changed once again, but not much. So, in top place, I have my MP5 Cold War with my FARA. MP5 has not changed at all. It's got the agency suppressor grip muzzle with the Tiger Team Spotlight, the Raider stock, the 50 round mag, and the Bruiser grip. The only thing you might want to do is if you're not a hip fire kind of guy, but I usually used to use a Serpent grip. I moved over to the Bruiser grip, just give me that movement speed and that hip fire accuracy. However, if you want the ADS back on, then shove on the Serpent grip. Pretty much alternate between the two. Give them both a try. See what you think. I've been quite liking with the Bruiser grip. Fast around. If I'm really close to those players, then that hip fire kicks in and is ideal instead of ADS in. And I'm winning a lot more engagements. So that's definitely a good plus for me. For the FARA itself, I used to run on the muzzle, the suppressor, but I now run the groove suppressor for that vertical recoil control, which basically means that I'm going to be ADSing slower, my aim walking steadiness, and my aiming stability. But I don't think this has hardly any aiming stability issues at all. So, for me, I'm rocking the Spetsnaz RPK barrel, which we know does have a 5% impact on the vertical and horizontal control. The actual times 3 times scope and 60 round mag. So before, I never used to have an underbarrel, and I used to run the Raider stock. Well, actually no, the Raider stocks for most of the SMGs, but I run the KGB schedule stock because I'm looking for that sprint to fire time. Or I'd run the Grew Elastic grip, one or the other. But now I need to have that help with in terms of the recoil. So most of you would probably think, why is he not using the Spetsnaz grip, which gives us that horizontal recoil control and vertical recoil control? And why has he got this Spetsnaz speed grip now? Well, he's only helping his vertical recoil control. Well, one, I think the groove suppressor is helping me with my vertical control enough that I don't have to worry about having to have the Spetsnaz grip. And also, there's another little thing that I've seen, like from True Grain data, which I'm going to show you now. So, if I go to his side, I'm looking at just the attachments for the FARA. And the Spetsnaz grip, we can see that gives us a -7 vertical recoil control and a horizontal bounce of -15. Also, if I look at the barrels, which the agency suppressor is basically the grease suppressor, and we can see that it has here vertical recoil control of -5. So by attaching the muzzle, I'm counteracting the effects of the change that they've done to the barrel. But then we do just get the horizontal kickback. Whereas his test here, as you can see, it says vertical recoil is -7 and horizontal bounce -15, and a slight impact to my movement speed. And Spetsnaz grip is basically the same vertical and horizontal control. This done was okay Fedus on the 6th of June, 3rd of June 2021. But they've not done any changes, so I feel that this grip is actually still the better one. So I'm using that basically because if I go down here, guys, I know I'm talking a load of up and down and stuff. If I go here, it looks like it's affecting my movement speed and it's giving me better accuracy. But I prefer having that faster movement speed. And I don't want to be impinged by the firing movement speed and the ADS firing movement speed, which is what it's saying the cons are here. So guys, try this loadout. Tell me what you think. And definitely try out the underbarrel, because I think this is the perfect setup that you guys need to be using. But definitely let me know. So in my second place, I've got the Mat 10. This gun's great. This is guns that a lot of people are using for wagers and pro tournaments and stuff if they're not using the Cold War MP5. So for this we run the agency suppressor, the task force barrel, the Tiger Team spotlight, the Raider stock, and the 53 round mag. The Raider stock basically gives us faster sprint to fire, movement speed as well. Tiger Team spotlight gives us movement speed and walking movement speed. Aiming stability is a con, but that doesn't affect this gun. This gun still beams. Task force barrel for basically that stray speed, the bullet velocity, effective damage range, and that, as we see here, vertical and horizontal. This doesn't have any, so it's fantastic. And the agency suppressor for basically all of the pros. There's so many pros and hardly little cons to this. This gun is still a fantastic SMG. It's been used so much. The only thing I would say is on your lethals, have a throw knife. You don't. This gun burns through ammo like nobody's business. So once you're down them, throw knife. Conserve that ammo so you have enough ammo to take down another player. So in third place, I have once again my Cold War MP5. Same setup. Not going to talk about that. But this time with the C58. This gun that pretty much makes the AMAX redundant. It pretty much across the board is better. I believe the extremities on the AMAX are where it's better. But this gun, if you're aiming your chest and headshots, is fantastic. So for this, we have the agency suppressor, the task force barrel, the Axel 3x scope, the 55 round mag. Otherwise, with the AMAX, you get the 45 round mag, so you get extra 10 more bullets. And we use the field agent grip. Basically, the horizontal and vertical control is basically counteracted by this. So if we have a little ganders on true game data, if I go back a section and we go to Warzone data, assault rifles, and then click on the C58 and we go next step, click on the underbarrel, field agent grip -7, horizontal bounce -15. So we know we've had a 5% impact on both of those sides. So basically by adding this underbarrel will basically counteract the effects of the update that went live on the 2nd of July, which will make this gun still be a beast. So back in here we go, and we go to my fourth place, which is a little bit of a mix-up. I'm running the LC10 with the Stoner, a bit more of a fun gun. The Stoner is a high-powered gun. LC10 wise, we run the agency suppressor, task force barrel, Tiger Team spotlight, the Raider stock, and the 55 round mag. This gun is graced for close to medium range and excels better than the other SMGs that I have on that closer to the medium before that crossover from medium to long range. So that tail end of the medium range, this gun is fantastic at. And then from taken after that is the Stoner, which I run the suppressor because this gun already hits like a truck. So I don't feel the need of having the agency suppressor for that extra damage and range, because I feel this is still very good. The task force barrel, the field agent grip to counteract the effects of the task force barrel in terms of that recoil control, the roll and cross 4 times, and the airborne elastic grip for that flinch resistance, the aim down sight, and the aiming stability. This is a great fun setup, great gun to use, really enjoying it. However, definitely my top 2 which are our number 1 and 2. My go-to choices are the FARA with the Mac 10 or the MP5 Cold War. If I'm playing aggressive, then I've got my 5th place thing, which is my XM4 and the aggressive sniper kit, which is either going to be the K-Swiss or the KAR 98K. For the XM4, I run the agency suppressor, the Tiger Team Spotlight, the Microflex AD because the iron sights are poo pants and this I can't stand them, and the Raider Pad and the 60 round Mac. This gun is an SMG build. It is fantastic. It's great to use, and now they've smoothed out that recoil pattern. It makes it even better, more viable as a pairing with a sniper gun. Then we have the K-Swisses, which is my sniper one, with the Grew Suppressor, the Combat Recon, the 5mm laser, the Bruiser Grip, and the Serpent Grip. The combination of all these together, because we don't need an optic because it automatically comes with an optic, so we don't have to waste attachment there, is fantastic. Try this out. This gun, if you're a controller player, this gun is so easy to use. It really does beam. It's like the KR, but it's got better aim and stability, hardly no idle sway. It's fantastic to use. If you're more of the aggressive player, then you're going to be wanting to rock in the KAR tried and tested gun of the century that everyone pretty much uses if they are like the sniper guy. So you've got the monolithic suppressor, the Singar Custom 27.6 tac laser, the variable zoom scope, and this time around, which I used to use, the precision cone for that aim and stability, and now shove and focus. The reason why is I was losing too many engagements against assault rifles, especially now that they can beam and they pretty don't have hardly much any recoil to worry about. I find with focuses, if they get a couple of shots off me, I still got to aim down and boom, get that headshot and get that down. So this is my top 5 loadouts. Slightly changes with this update, but pretty much these guns are going to be blasting lobbies left, right, and center. So guys, get out there and get some wins and thanks. Make sure you like and subscribe because there's about 90% of you guys that watching my stuff that don't subscribe. So come on, subscribe. Okay.